Now I'm going to be taking y'all through some stretching programs. We're going to start it off in chest and shoulders, and we're going to work our way into neck, and then we're going to go a little bit into ab and obliques. Now in this part of the program, we're going to start it off with the stretch in the chest. I have my hand open, facing in, and I'm going to turn away from my body. And when I get this separation right here, pectoralis bridge that runs right down, I'm going to feel a tension in that. As I turn away and I get a good tension in that, I'm going to hold it right there and let that muscle relax a little bit. And once it starts to relax, I'm going to lean into it just a little bit. You'll feel a real good separation running down pectoralis bridge. Right there, you're just going to sustain your position for about 5 to 10 seconds, or when that muscle starts to feel like it's alleviating. Once it feels like it's alleviating, you're going to try to add an inch to it right there. Now once that part of it feels like it's stretched out, I can back it off a touch, and then it's all based on how my hand is turned. So I'm going to turn my hand up. Once I turn my hand up, it's going to put all the pressure in the bicep and the front of my shoulder. So I'm going to go back to my same position. I'm going to turn my body away from it. And then as I start to lean into it, you'll see right there in my bicep, I get a real good separation in bicep, a little bit of a separation in high shoulder. Now once I hit my point, I'm going to hold that for about 5 to 10 seconds, wait for that muscle to alleviate. Once it alleviates, I'm going to add my extra inch and hold. From there, I want to go into a top shoulder separation. So all I'm going to do is my hand is going to stay firm. It's going to stay straight just like it is. I'm going to rotate the shoulder down, and I'm going to lean into it. Now that's going to be considered your high deltoid separation, the exterior of the shoulder, a little bit of front shoulder, a little bit of pectoralis bridge right there, and just lean into it. Control it out slow. Based on what you're stretching for, if you've just gone through muscle intensities and you're trying to prevent soreness, one good long duration stretch will be plenty for you. If you have max intense soreness, you want to go through motions like this pretty often and then just do some light stretching in between. The more you impose circulation, the faster the muscles replenish, repair, and are ready to be hit again. Next part of the stretching I'm going to take y'all through is going to be a little bit of lower back, the sides of the lower back going into the obliques, and also a little bit of lat separation. From there, we'll step off with the dumbbells, and we'll also use it for a trap separation and a little bit of high scapular up right below the neck on the back side. Now this part of the stretch, you're going to be using dumbbells, and I'm going to explain this before I go down. What it's going to be is it's going to be 3 ranges of motion. I'm going to take it to a level that's comfortable, take a deep breath, let the muscles relax, add an inch, take a deep breath, let the muscles relax, and then I'm going to do side to side. So I'm going to start it off down in front just to a comfortable level. Now you should make a progression on this part of it right here. As far as your first point, you just want to feel a tension in that lower back, and you're going to let those muscles hang. You're going to let the shoulders hang low, holding the weights, and then just add an inch from there. And after this part of the program, every hold you've got, you can hold it as long as you want. All you're doing is stretching it out a little bit better. But at this point, I just want to take it to a level that it feels pretty tense. I want to let that lower back alleviate a little bit, and then I want to get a good stretch on each side. So I'm going to purposely let that right side sink a good 2 inches deeper than the right side. I'm not drawing the right side up. I'm still letting it hang. I'm just forcing that right side to go about 2 inches deeper than the left side. You're going to feel a real good pulling that right down lower in the lower back on the right side. And then just after a good stretch, you're going to switch them over. You should also feel a pretty good separation in the lats, which connects your armpits down going into your sides. On the very last one, you're just going to take that as deep as you can take it. Keep those knees locked out. Deep, controlled breathing. Let it hang for a good while. Now, you can either A, have someone standing below you to catch the weights, or just drop them. You want to drop them, stand up nice and slow, hands behind the head, stretch it back, and go side to side. And I mean stretch it as hard as you can. Get a real good separation in those sides. Based on why you're stretching it out, you might want to go through that full duration of the program twice. If your lower back's pretty intensely sore, which does happen and it remains for a very long time, it's good to do this 2 to 3 times a day, as much as you want. The more you impose the circulation, the faster it gets better. Now in this part of the program, we're going to be going into a trap separation. We're still using our dumbbells. We're going to set one down, that way we're not using it as a counterbalance. In this part, all I'm going to do is I'm going to keep a broad chest, broad shoulders, let that weight sink all the way down my leg as deep as I can, hand on the head, and you're not pulling real hard, you're just helping support. And when you pull it up, you're just barely pulling it up with that neck. You'll feel a real good tension right here in your neck, a little bit in the back side. but you're just letting that, you're not protecting it. See, I can draw my shoulder up. I want it to hang. I want to use those muscles as little as possible. I'm using that weight to stretch that trap out. Now I can also barely roll my shoulder back and forth, and I'll feel as I roll in the back, I feel more separation in the back. Roll it in the front. And I can take my time doing this. Just do it nice and slow, stretched out real good. Switch it over to the other side, same exact thing. You just want to keep broad chest, broad shoulders. Sink it as deep as you can. Hold on to that neck. Don't pull on that neck. You want to pull the neck muscle itself. You want to draw yourself up. It's just going to give yourself a little support. Let that weight hang as low as it can possibly hang. Roll it back and forth. And there you go.